You are about to embark on the most wonderful experience of your life.
Okay, so in this video, I am going to show you how it is you can do a mask in Animate as well as a gradient. So here's how you do it. So I already have this set up so that on my top layer called title, I have what you see here, the title. And a mask, if you're not aware, basically will allow you to take whatever is going to be the mask, so it's going to be the title in this case, and it will then work like a window. It's going to show whatever is there on the bottom layer is going to show through. So basically, all I have to do, I can in fact make this title layer a mask right this second. Here's the little part that's I guess maybe the hardest to explain or just to show. So I'm zooming in. If you click in this area and then you right button click, you get a contextual menu and you want to choose, let's see, mask. Let's go. Here it is, mask. You just choose mask and then something happened. Let's zoom out so you can see what happened. Aha. See how the word title now looks like it's all made up of scribbles? If we continue like this, you can see it is actually animated. So if I put this on a loop and I played it, the title would look a little different. It is masked. So just understand how that's set up. Also understand that it is locked and this is indented. That's the other clue, that you successfully masked it. So look, if I zoom in, you'll notice you get these symbols which didn't used to exist. And the other clue is it's locked. If you undo the locks, the masking effect vanishes. So just know that. And because you know the smarter way to do this, of course this is less than 1 second, so the smart way to make this last for a long time would be to take these three cells, cut them, right? So they vanish, and then say insert new symbol. I would call it scribbles, make it a graphic, choose OK, paste them here. Okay, and then there they are. And then go back to our main timeline, go to the library, take scribbles, put it here on the bottom. And now we could say, hey, I want this to be lasting for 10 seconds, for instance. So I could just choose F5 and then F5 again. And now when we play this, if we turn the lock back on after it's been masked, you will see what you see. Let's do a test movie. There it is. Okay, and that's lasting for whatever that was, 6 seconds. Okay, next thing I wanted to teach you, which I explained to the class, involves gradients. So let's put a gradient in back of this. Why you'd want to use a gradient? Gradients are great because they can break up the dominance of the boring white background that is just like everywhere. So what I'm going to try to do, if I can do this and get this to work properly, is I'm going to try, okay, it's going to work. I had to take the title and lift it above this background. I'm going to call this gradient background. Okay. It doesn't like that name, but now it does because there's an underscore. Okay, so let's hide these for a second. And here's how I access the gradients. If I want my whole stage to have a gradient, I just will double click this color chip and I'll go with the default gradients, one of these on the bottom. And then I will go ahead and I don't need a stroke, so I'm going to get rid of that. Anyway, I'm going to take my rectangle tool, fill up my stage like I'm doing, and you get what you get. Okay, so that is technically a gradient. Let's look at what it looks like with our animation. And it's okay. It's just kind of dark, right? There's not much contrast. So let's change the gradient colors. Let's hide this again. And the way you can change the colors once you have your gradient in place, go to Window, go to Color, and it shows you right here under Color, radial gradient. That's the default of the ones that are on the bottom here. And you can see I can change it to other color combinations. This one here is a linear gradient. Notice how it changes the name right here. So you have these three options: solid color, which is what we all know and use. But then, like I said, you've got these two others that I want us to be aware of. Let's go with linear for now. Linear is left to right or right to left, up and down, vice versa. But the thing to know about it is you get these little color tabs here. So if I click on one of these, and then I move my circle in this little color section, you can see it's updating the color in real time. If I said, hey, I want a third color, I could click down here, adjust my colors like so, and now my gradient is made up of 3 colors. All right, that's kind of cool. I can also switch it to radial, and that will make it like a ball or a sphere. Let's zoom out so you can see this. Okay, and the other thing to know is these color differences influence the spread. So right now I'm moving this center color more to the right, and you can see how it's crowding out the space of the light color chip, and vice versa. Now, I might have accidentally double-clicked it or just pulled it straight down, and that's how you can delete a color. All right. Now, there's another tool that's really helpful to know of, and it helps you to use gradients to the best effect. And so again, right now, I kind of forgot that I was working on this title. I kind of feel like my colors are still too dark, so I want to work with some lighter colors. I think I'm going to stick with a linear gradient for this, and maybe I'll just use simple 2-color palette. This is workable. Okay, so let's click away for a split second. That's what it will look like now. The contrast is better, but I don't really like how it's going from left to right. I'd like it so that it's darker at the top and then fades at the bottom. So I could take the free transform tool, drill down 1, and you get this thing called the gradient transform tool. Now when I click on the gradient, let's zoom out so you can see the edges. When I click on the gradient with the gradient tool, you see now you get this handle. So this is telling me this square here that I'm moving is the spread. And so of course you can make, the wider you make it, the more diffused it is. And the shorter it is, the more abrupt the change will be. The one in the corner here influences the curve or the angle. So here I could say, I want it to be up and down. Again, I could have a horizon line sort of effect looking like that, or I could spread this out. And you can move the whole gradient by grabbing that circle in the center and moving it around like so. All right, so the last thing I want to show you before we say goodbye is the last thing to know of is, once again, using the gradient transform tool. If I used a radial gradient, the handle for the gradient tool is a little different. You can make something more elliptical, like so. You can change how it's spread or diffused. And then this one might be the strangest one, because you could say, well, it's a radial, so what does it matter if I turn it? It's all going to be the same. That's true only if it stays a circle. So if you made an ellipse, that's how you could change it. That's the reason they have that feature. All right, so there you have it. How to make a mask. Let's see how this looks. If we say Control, Test, Movie, Animate. Okay, and there it is. I mean, it's nothing spectacular, but you get the idea. It's just a way to, again, add to the quality of what you're doing and go beyond the very basics, and use your imagination. What I show you in class and in these videos artistically, because I'm trying to make videos that are relatively short, is not the finest of examples at all times, but once you see how it's done, your imagination can take over and say, I see. Now if I combine this colors with this shape and so on and so forth, I can make something a little better. I'm just showing you how it's done. How creative you get with it is your choice. Okay, you have a good afternoon, and I'll see you guys later. Bye.